Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen of Equality California, it is my honor and pleasure to present tonight's Equality Visibility Award to no other than Conrad Ricamora. Let's give it up.
Now that I give to you all of me.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this Visibility Award. Thank you so much to my agent and friend, Richard, for making the trip from New York to be here and guiding me to this point where I can be visible to millions of people like yourselves. And thank you to my dear friend, Julie Lake, who has been by my side. Oh my gosh, you guys made me cry with that. Like, I'm trying to keep it together, but that video, you showed my dog, and like, I'm really trying to like white knuckling it up here. But thank you to my dear friend, Julie Lake, who's been by my side through thick and thin, and through ups and downs, and every heartache is always there for me, even if I disappear for a while. When I was thinking about what to say last week, I was talking to Viola Davis, the queen the queen of acceptance speeches. I mean, seriously, I hope she wins tomorrow just so she can drop some more knowledge on all of us, because she's just incredible. Anyway, she told me that it's not talking about your successes and how great that your life is that you most connect with people. It's when you show your humanity and when you show people that you don't have it all together. When you let people in on your struggles, that's when you make a space for people to connect with you and to empathize and feel less alone in their struggles. And through that, you find the space to make change. So I want to take you all back into my past a little bit further, to a time when I didn't have it all together, when I wasn't on a TV show and nobody knew my name, to a specific incident that almost broke me and that I'm still healing from. So I grew up in the Deep South. Like 2020, the show 2020 actually came to my high school and did an expose because teachers were baptizing students in the bathrooms. Hey, does that set the scene enough for y'all? Y'all get that? Yeah? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, it was also a military community, so there you go. As a kid, I played competitive sports and had a group of guy friends that I was very close with all throughout middle school and then into high school. We would spend every night after school playing tennis together, and every weekend riding bikes through the woods and trespassing on construction sites and playing tag. And these guys were my best friends, the closest people to me in my whole life. And when we got into our freshman year in high school, some of my friends started finding porn in their parents' rooms or older siblings' rooms. And when we would have sleepovers, we would watch and hoot and holler and laugh uncontrollably. And mostly we were just trying to figure out what it was that we were watching, and we were just trying to be cool. Gradually, I started realizing that I was focusing more on the men in the videos than the women, and I wanted to explore that more. So I thought it would be a great idea to go to the local video store and try to steal this one video that had shirtless men on the cover. It was a gay porn. It was just like the videos that my friends were watching, but with all men. So I put the video in my book bag and headed towards the exit but when I tried to lift my book bag over the sensor, I didn't quite lift it high enough, and the alarm went off, and I got caught by two of the employees that just happened to go to my high school. Now, this could have been a funny childhood growing pains anecdote that I could be up here telling you all right now, if what followed this wasn't so extremely traumatic. What followed every day for the next 3 years of my life was people yelling faggot at me in the hallways of my school, and people calling my house, bullying and threatening me over the phone. I had to ride at the front of the bus so that I could be near the bus driver so I wouldn't get physically hurt. I hid in the library during lunch for the next 3 years of my life because I was too scared to put myself out in front of an entire community that hated me, that treated me like I was some disgusting, shameful monster that was to be avoided. But worst of all, that close group of guy friends that I had, that I would spend every day with. Sorry. That close group of guy friends that I had and would spend every day and every night with completely turned on me. One of my best friends said to my face that he couldn't hang out with me anymore because I was a faggot. At the end of the year, another friend said that I couldn't sign their yearbook and that I couldn't come over to their house anymore because I was gay. I had absolutely no one to turn to talk to. Not even my parents were equipped to deal with this in the area that we were living. Everybody was scared. There was no one visible that seemed like they were on my side. And I felt completely ashamed and completely alone. So I completely disassociated for the next 3 years. I retreated into a dark corner of my mind and I hid from the world. Even today, I barely remember high school because I was so far gone mentally and spiritually. And I did this until I could leave for a bigger city. But what I've come to realize since getting out of that scary time is this. That traumatic situation, it wasn't the end or the beginning. It was just something really shitty that happened and that I'm still undoing the damage from and healing from. Why, a few years ago, during grad school, did I drag a blade across my wrist? Why, ever since then, when I start to get closer to friends and family and intimate partners, why do I run? And to that end, why did Matthew Shepard and Tyler Clementi, Pulse Nightclub, and thousands of other tragedies happen? All of this pain and trauma couldn't have happened just because two dudes were attracted to each other. Was this really all of this? Was this really all because some people think that that's wrong? This has to change. We exist. LGBT people exist and have existed forever, and we have to be allowed to exist fully and openly in all areas of the world, from Russia to Los Angeles to the Deep South. And I don't blame the people in the community where I grew up. They were doing what they were taught. I would have probably acted the same way because I was brought up in that environment. they were prisoners of that culture too. But we have to start teaching our little boys and young men that it's okay to express themselves, that there's nothing wrong with being sensitive, and that aggressive, violent, destructive, toxic masculinity is not a goal or something to strive to be. And that above all, that we treat everyone with respect, not just people who happen to share the color of our skin or gender or sexual orientation. I want to say that a lot of this award goes to Jack Fallahy, my on-screen partner, and Pete Nowak, the creator of How to Get Away with Murder, for pushing for the equality and visibility of sex scenes between two men on network television. And this is a very important step forward, that we deal with sex and affection between two men, that we represent and show men being affectionate and being sexual with equality to straight couples. Because while we may be fabulous and funny, we are also real sexual beings. We are not just your best friends, and we are not just your clowns. So all of this being said, I want to accept this award tonight, not as a proud gay man who's got it all figured out, living in the all-accepting, all-inclusive cities of Los Angeles and New York. I want to accept this award tonight as a nervous gay kid living in the South who's just looking for a friend and some support while he figures it out. And I want to thank you so much, Equality California, for being that support for so many people who need it. Thank you so much.